What's going on, everyone? It's March 20th, 2024. This is Puck U coming back at you. I'm Mike Burns. I'm alongside Wyloo Sports NHL handicapper extraordinaire, Les Victory. We got 3 games on the schedule tonight. We're going to break down to you. But first, this is day 2 of our ladder challenge. And we fucking crushed the cherry picker max bet tonight. Les, you got to be feeling good, dude.
Well, I'll tell you, last night, Burnsy, around 10:30, I wasn't feeling, well, probably around 11 o'clock. I was getting a little nervous. Edmonton blew a 2-0 lead, 2-1 quickly into the third. And, obviously I watched the game, and Montreal deserved to win that game. They fought hard. They deserved every bit of that 1 point. I'm a Montreal fan by trade, but oh man, they took it to Edmonton. Edmonton's the third period team, and Montreal did a great job shutting them down. So with that, cherry picker hits. We're rocking the Habs because they fucked up enough for us to win this game. And the McJesus, does this mean I'm bisexual if I'm rocking 2 different teams at the same time? I've never done that. I'm new to this. I've never done this before, Burnsy.
It's 2024, man. Everything's on the table.
Either way, cherry picker does cash for big money. That's 2 in a row now. We're probably going to have another one this week, so you're going to want to stay tuned and get in on that action. So with that being said, we did hit day 1 of the ladder. Everybody is $10 richer, and I know you're not going to talk about it. Well, you might, but Burnsy over here hit an 8-gamer last night, an 8-game parlay. He's coming for my job. I'm going to have to go down there to New Jersey and slash his tires or whatever it is that New Jerseyans fucking do. But you're not taking my job just because you hit one 8-game parlay for 10 times your money. That's whatever.
No big deal, man. No big deal. Money comes, money goes. We all play around with some things. But we weren't playing around with a lot of things that we saw over here last night. St. Louis, we said they were going to play tough, and they sure as shit did. We gave them out at +1.5. That guy cashed out for us. Rangers couldn't complete the comeback. Scheifele capped everything off with a hat trick, an empty netter at the end. Fucking stuck it in and broke it off on us. But we did have Lafreniere. He got him close. Real nice play with about 2 minutes left, minute and a half with a goalie pulled. And Trocheck was on the screen sheet as well last night. So we saw those guys right there. And, we were talking a little bit yesterday about Colorado, about how it's really just, they struggle with the depth scoring. That's why we liked St. Louis a lot in that spot. And Rantanen came through with the hat trick last night. Casey Middlestead to get a goal for Colorado. I think that was his first, maybe second, So, we saw some things yesterday. A lot of games. But tonight, there's only 3, dude. We only got 3 on the slate. We got the Dessert Dogs against Dallas. Arizona coming in here at +225. Dallas is -2 million. Over under here set at 6.5. Head to head between these two guys. Dallas is 8-2, winning 5 of the last 6 contests between these guys. The over has crushed. I mean, listen, man, this is an Arizona team that didn't win a single fucking game in February, but they've had a decent little March on their hands. They got 5 wins, 4 losses. In the last 10 games, they're 4th in the league in save percentage over expected at 9.465. They've been playing a hot little stretch of hockey here, but do they have any shot in hell against the big bad Dallas Stars?
A lot of it's going to come down to goaltending, and Dallas has struggled a little bit. And our cherry picker on Saturday was Dallas, and they did pull through. Ottinger got yanked the game before, and we were hoping that he was going to come out and have a big game against LA, and he did. But Arizona's goaltending has also been good. The last 3 games, they've only given up 4 goals. 4 goals against. I mean, one of them was to your lowly Devils that can't score on a fucking soccer net, but
did last night, baby.
Yeah, well, yeah, for sure. And then Detroit was another one. So not really your firepower goal scoring machines that they can play, but Dallas is just so good at home. And They look better at home. Everybody looks more comfortable at home. Even though they dropped a couple games at home recently, I still feel like Dallas is obviously the better team. With that being said, I think Ingram gets a lot of rubber tonight. So if you want to look at the shot totals, the save totals for Dallas, I wouldn't be opposed to seeing Ingram getting his 29 saves. It's at 28.5 right now. I could see Dallas putting up 34, 35 shots on this Arizona team, and obviously with a few goals in there. So if you're looking for a prop bet, maybe consider taking Connor Ingram over 28.5.
Well, over the last 10 games, Dallas has averaged 34.7 shots on goal, and Arizona is allowed 31.6. So definitely have something there. Speaking of Connor Ingram, he is 2-3 in his last 5 starts with a 2.84 and a 9.08. So he has played well, as well as I can never say this guy's name for Mletnikov, whoever the other goalie that
hip hop anonymous.
He put up 45 fucking saves against my Devils last week. So the Yotes have a little something going here, but I do think that this is all Dallas. Like you said, you got to find some creativity here with Dallas being minus 2 million. The Dallas power play has been good at 28%, but their penalty kill is a little sus at 68%, man. They haven't been tremendous in their last 10. And like you said, you shot some shade Jake Ottinger's way last week. I mean, he's 4-5-1 in his last 10 with a 3.44 and a 8.62. I mean, you called him very mid, and he's been.
And you know what? He's gonna have to get better if they want to not get into a first round pissing contest with somebody, because. And maybe that's what he's saving for. Maybe, it's hard to say. I mean, it's a long season. Goalies get hot. They get cold. It's about when they get those temperatures and what temperature it is. You need to get hot at the right times. And I feel like he's due to start turning things around. The team in front of him is playing a lot better.
Mm-hmm.
That's a really good fucking team, Burnsy. And, I could see them going for a little skate in the postseason this year. So it's a tough one to say, especially when you got some questionable goaltending. But the nice thing is with the Stars is they allow the second fewest expected goals per 60 at 5-on-5. So if they can get a little bit better on the PK, which I say this all the time, your best penalty killer is the fucking goalie. And Edmonton could vouch for that last night because Picard made some excellent saves on the penalty kill. So, and that could be a part of the reason why. And I mean, it's not really fair either to the goalie to be giving up goals when your team is down a man. So nobody really factors that into a goalie save percent. Oh, he's an 845 lately. Yeah, well, you got 3 goals on the power play that could have been tic-tac-toes. There's a reason why it's called the power play. So you got to look at everything, right? So 5-on-5, there's a reason why the Stars have the second fewest expected goals per 60. It's because they're a good defensive team and they get good goaltending most of the time. He does need to be better. He does need to be sharper on the special teams, but I can definitely, see good things for him coming more and more as the season goes on.
Listen, there's a reason why Dallas has 91 points on the season. I mean, they are just a complete team. So if Jake the Snake can figure some shit out, they're going to get healthy soon. Sagan is skating again. Dadonov's not ready for this one. So they do have some guys that they can inject some offense into the lineup. They do look like a complete team when healthy. And then, we talked about this kid last week, Stankoven. He's got 9 points in his first 11 games up in the big. So, he's definitely going to be some big plus money. I always like those little guys coming through and proving themselves. So.
And you know what? The Coyotes ranked 24th in goals, right? Not great, but favorable for a guy like Jake Ottinger, who might be struggling a little bit. So if they're going against a team that struggles to put the puck in the net, you can maybe consider the under on this, like a 4-2 kind of game, Dallas game. It's something like if you want to do a correct score bet for plus 600, 5-2 Dallas. I can kind of see that kind of result tonight.
All right, on to our second game tonight. We got the Leafs walking into the wagon Washington Capitals. The line has shimmied a little bit towards the Caps. It opened up at minus 155 in Toronto's favor. Now plus 130 for Washington. Now we're looking at minus 135, plus 115 for Washington. Over under here at 6. I mean, we talk about Toronto a lot, right? And they have just straight up not been playing great. They're 5-4-1 in their last 10. They've lost 2 straight. And there's been one big key out of their lineup that I think they're missing tremendously. And his name is Mitchie Marner, brother.
Yeah, well, definitely. And you miss a guy like that in your lineup. He just brings so much character to different parts of the game. You know, he's a big penalty killer now. He kills a lot of penalties and he generates a lot of chances on shorthanded. Obviously, we know what he does on the power play and what he does with Matthews. And, you know, those guys are just dumb and dumber to a T as far as their chemistry goes on the ice. With that being said, though, he needs to take the time to get healthy. You know, they should make the playoffs. It's important that he is 100% before he gets back on, because the last thing you want is to have nagging injuries coming into the postseason. And then what? You make a first round exit and, maybe if I would have sat out that game in Washington, I would have been better or whatever. It's a back-to-back spot for Toronto. Kiefer was not happy about the Leafs' performance.
He's never fucking happy, though. He's the grumpiest son of a bitch in the league.
He's just trying to be like Tortorella. He just wants to, oh man, I wish I was more like him. How can I be more of an asshole on camera? Oh, I know. I'll call out my team. Next thing you know, he's scratching Matthews.
Well, Matthews actually has been scratchable, man. I mean, he is not playing the way that he normally plays.
No.
He hasn't lit in the lamp in a while.
He's definitely not scratch worthy, but it's, you know, a
that
big
stash
part of,
is.
yeah, wow, that's been scratch worthy since 2017. But irregardless, what a call by Torts, though, to, you know, call out his captain, scratch him, make it public. You know, they could have easily said, he's out day to day with an illness. He's got COVID, you know, whatever.
That's not Torts.
No. And he did it. And you know what's funny is when I woke up yesterday, I had the Leafs winning Philly.
Mm-hmm.
I had them beating Philly. I told it to you. I said, Burnsy, I really like them. They're going on the card tonight. And then as the day went on, I saw the interview with Couturier, and I was like, oh man, Torts is sending a fucking message tonight. Look at just because you got a C on your jersey doesn't mean shit. I'm putting 20 guys out on this ice that I think is going to get us 2 points. I don't give a shit who you are, who you think you are. And that is the mentality that is going to make teams win. Yeah, it's going to piss him off. But now he's got to go home and sleep it off and be like, holy fuck, I'm the captain of this team and I got scratched. Like that's humiliating. What does the team do? Philadelphia steps up, gets the win. They were up 3-0 in this game.
Yep.
So you want to, you know, I think Torts did a bang up job putting that kind of pressure on Toronto last night. With that being said, I mean, I think Toronto still should have won the game. I think they hit 5 posts or something. So
they came steaming back for sure, man. You know, they made a game of it.
They definitely did. And, you know, Kiefer wasn't happy and he shouldn't be. That's a game that you should win. That's a game that you kind of need to win to stay in the position you are. Just like this one. This is a must win for Washington, but it's a big win for Toronto because of that division and where it is. And, you know, all these shit teams going on these little hot streaks that are now getting back. Oh my God, Washington, where did they come from? Fuck off.
Wagon, dude. Absolute fucking wagon.
33-25 on the season. They could be 8 points out of a playoff spot by next Friday. Like, it's just the way it is right now.
Listen, man, I mean, the one thing that I kind of look at Washington that kind of separates me from these other, you know, believer teams or whatever is the Caps are full of vets. They're not a young team. They know what position that they're in. And I think that their vets are gonna step up. Maybe, I mean, I could see them definitely making this a fucking game over here. And plus, minus for the Maple Leafs, they got Joseph Woll in the pipes. He hasn't played since March 7th. So yeah, he's fresh, right? He's got all the energy, right? But he's 5'5", 3-1 in his last 10, a 2.97 and a 9.09. I mean, he's given up 4 goals in each of his last 2 starts, just happened to be against Boston both games. That doesn't make me feel good about all eyes looking at the Leafs. And we see the line moving in this way. On the other end, I do like Charlie Lindgren. I like Chuck a lot. He's 2.80, 9.13 in his last 5. And the Caps have found a scoring touch. I got my eye on the Ovi special in this power play. Sitting over there, posting up right in his office and just hammering in a little PP. So I don't know, man. I definitely don't see this as a slam dunk for Toronto by any stretch.
And I think the line reflects that. I think if this game was a month ago, Toronto would be like a minus 190, maybe even more. But being a back-to-back spot is definitely going to affect that. Now, the one thing, a lot of people are like, oh, well, Washington's at home again. It's always better to play at home. They just finished a 5-game road trip, left Calgary, 6-hour flight home. They probably slept all day. Maybe they had an evening skate or a video session or whatever, probably a morning skate today. They're going to be tired. I don't care who you are. That's going to play a toll on you. You just played five games on the road and in like 8 days, 5 games in 8 days, long flight home, 1 day off, get up, get back into your home routine. And now you got to go and face the Toronto Maple Leafs, who are on a back-to-back spot, but they've also been better on the road than they have been at home. So my only concern is what wool will show up for the Leafs. And I think tonight is the night Matthews gets going. I think he's gotten a few games now with Bertuzzi and Domi. Eventually, it's going to start clicking. And I mean, he had 2 assists yesterday, but he's just not his usual self, and everybody can see that. And
he's supposed to be a hat trick machine.
Blame Mitch Marner. I don't care. But here's the thing: people get hurt. You got to make adjustments. You have to find ways to fucking get it done with your right-hand man or not. You need to figure it out. So I think Matthews gets it figured out tonight, and I think he gets one on the board.
Well, we talked about their power play struggling. I mean, like, it's not even just the struggle's not a word, dude. I mean, since Marner's been gone, they're 7.41% on the power play. Less than 10%. It's kind of nutty. So you got Matthews, ATG. I got Ovi getting back. Ovi's got 5 goals, 5 assists. His last 10. He's looking hot. This is definitely a game that I'm keeping my eye on.
Definitely. I love it.
All right, last game that we got for you tonight. A little bit of a weird spot for both these teams. Both these teams played last night. Minnesota is a road dog against the Kings, plus 130, Kings minus 155. Over under set here low at 5.5. Like I said, both teams played last night. They played some soft opponents and they beat up on them. But they both got the W. Minnesota is 6-2-2 in their last 10. Like I said, they kicked the shit out of Anaheim. Goaltending has actually been very, very strong. We're going to get Fleury between the pipes here. He's 7-2-1 with a 2-1-2 and a 9-2-1. I mean, Minnesota's not that overly offensive team, but they do gut out a lot of wins. What do you like or not like about a Minnesota spot?
I think this is a good spot for Minnesota to come in and take 2 points on the road here. LA has struggled on the road all season. Like, they're below 500 at home. They're below 500 at home. And I feel like Minnesota plays a much more energetic game than Los Angeles. I feel like they put more pressure on. They can capitalize on turnovers in the neutral zone better than Los Angeles does. Now, mind you, Los Angeles is one of the best defensive teams in the league. So you got the best defensive teams in the league going up against one of the hottest goalies in the NHL right now. What that tells me, what? Low scoring, maybe. I mean, I think the line's at 5.5 right now.
It's for a reason.
See this being like a 2-2 overtime kind of game. Maybe even worse than that. I don't see this being a scoring frenzy. It's a tough one because you know what the over-under is on Los Angeles record this year? 23-42. The under is cashed almost twice as many times as the over. Minnesota is around 500, so nothing special there, but I don't know, Birdsey.
I mean, listen, these are two teams that don't find a lot of the back of the net. I mean, in the last 10, Minnesota averages 2.8 goals, only 18% on the power play. Riddick's going to be between the pipes for LA. He's 6-4 with a 2.47 and a 9.12. I mean, I do see this as 100% a rock fight. You know, I mean, when I was drawing up the notes on these guys, I actually on the outline just wrote down, like, I don't know what else to say because these guys are just it's like a mirror of each other. None of them are overly offensive. They're sound defensively. They got good pipe work. I mean, I'm with you on the under there.
And I like the story of Minnesota, like them firing the coach, like, I don't know, half the fucking teams in the NHL this year, but they actually responded well to that. They've been up and down, don't get me wrong, but we wrote them off a month ago. We're like, you know what? You fired your coach, you know, too many changes, too many injuries, every excuse in the fucking book. But you know who else makes excuses, Burnsies? Fucking losers. Losers make excuses. Winners find a way to win.
Fuck the prom queen.
Yeah. Winners find a way to win. And that's what Minnesota's done. They found a way to win with a lot of guys hurt, a lot of question marks behind the bench, you know, just whole chemistry in that room. And they're finding ways to win. And that's the difference between, you know, we talk about Matthews not having Marner. Fuck off. Like, you don't need him. Find a way to win. This is the NHL. You're professionals. You got to find a way. And Minnesota is finding that way. They're beating the teams that they need to beat to. They're losing to the teams that are better than them, which is okay when you're trying to catch the teams just above you. That's okay. So as long as Minnesota continues to get good goaltending, I know Eriksson Ek isn't playing tonight, and that's a big pitfall for that offense, which makes me lean on the under even more.
Mm-hmm. Well, I got my eye on Kaprizov. He's on a tear right now. He's got 10 goals and 4 assists in his last 10 games. And then Kopitar's been playing very well for LA. But again, these are very defensive kind of teams. Minnesota's sitting 3 points behind Vegas, who's going to be idle tonight. So this is a jam kind of spot for Minnesota. They can wake up tomorrow morning just being 1 point out of a very mid Vegas team. So this is going to be a very interesting matchup here.
I'm looking forward to it.
All right, guys, that's all we got for you today. Only 3 games on the schedule. Make sure you guys get over to whylose.com. Grab that week pass. We got the Canadian Bacon Parlay running red hot. It's actually our max bet spot tonight, right? Is that right?
It's not a max bet spot, but it is the feature bet on tonight. It is. We usually put smaller units on the parlay, but tonight we like it a lot more. So we're putting bigger units on this one. Just because of that. So we're calling it it's the parlay of the day for sure, because I see a lot of value on this. It pays good money. So we're going to up the units up a little bit and hope that we can take some home.
All right, guys, make sure you get over and check us out on Telegram, YouTube, TikTok, Twitter, X, and make sure you get over to Instagram. We got day 2 of the ladder challenge getting posted very, very soon. So let's see you out there. All right, guys, for Les, Mike, we'll catch you back over tomorrow. Y'all take care of yourselves. Stay well. Enjoy the hockey tonight.